People don't understand that you can have a love for Christ and you can have tattoos and you can be somebody that was in prison and you can change your whole life with just one simple, like, thank you, God, for this beautiful day.
Hi, I'm Janelle with Pure Phoenix. Welcome back. I'm here with my friend Gelly, and we're going to discuss a little bit of things regarding our health, especially from the beginning of our time up until where we are now, and hope that maybe it resonates with some of you out there. So hello, Gelly.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's good to see you.
Good, likewise.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen each other.
It's been a few months.
Yeah. How is married life going for you?
Married life is good. I got married in October 5th, which you know because you were at my wedding. Everything's been wonderful since then.
Good. I'm so excited. I love seeing all of your updates and your traveling and all of the fun things that you do.
You.
Yeah. Now, Gelly, we met each other originally on Facebook, which I think is such a wonderful platform of bringing people together, especially in such a large city here in Phoenix. But I think what drew us together was our belief in Jesus and like our true faith. Yes. And then through that, we've come together. And one of my favorite things about you was our first time together was downtown Phoenix. And we went to go see a comedy show. And when I was walking back to my car, every single one in your group, you included, everybody was like, there's no way you're walking back to your car by yourself. And you guys all walked me to my car as a group. And, you know, I'm 49 years old. I've never experienced that type of love and support before. And so it's like instantly you became so close to my heart because of that. And so I, again, love listening to, you know, your platform and what you do and how you bring women together in the Valley. And, you know, your little sassy group has been amazing because it's grown so many women together. And I love everything about you. So I'm glad that you're here with me today.
That's so sweet. Well, thank you for having me. I feel the same about you. I think you're going to make me cry. From the minute we met, it was just a very authentic connection. And I think something that we both share is our faith and our love for all things healthy and supporting women. I think that's huge, especially at our age. I think people kind of get lost in not understanding that, you know, you can be yourself and you can appreciate and love who you are as well as you can others. And it's just super, super important to me that we're always putting our best foot forward, not only for ourselves, but for other women. For
others, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that's something I'm just so passionate about.
And it shows with the women that you bring together. And like every group that I've ever been involved with you, it's like the women are so solid and so authentic and so nurturing. Yeah. And I love that part about how you bring women together. So some things that I know that you and I've talked about in the past is how you've been in health and wellness your entire life. And I think you said you even used to do a little bit of bodybuilding. Is that correct?
Yes. Back in my early 20s, it actually started in high school. I dated somebody that was very, very into health and wellness. And he just kind of brought me in that world and we started working out together. And then I got approached by Muscle Mag magazine, I think it was. God, it's been years back in the day. And they were like, you should totally start lifting. We can put you on the cover. And I was so overwhelmed because I was always this bigger, thick Greek girl that always had all the curves. And I thought I could not do that. But I started getting into it and I loved it. What I liked more about the health industry, not only the look it gives your body, was just how I felt. Just eating super clean and not abusing my body with obviously drugs and alcohol. Because when you're in your early 20s, everybody's doing things, and just kind of having that capability to say, that's not for me, I'm going to choose this. So I started out at just a super young age, getting very, very into health.
And that's a big difference, I think, between like trying to start something now. We've established those habits over a lifetime. So it's a lot easier for us to kind of make tweaks, especially now that we've gotten more mature and we are nearing that range of either perimenopause or menopause. And then like, I don't know about you, but for me, that was like wreaking havoc on my body. And so I've gone my entire life being able to eat whatever I want, 5,000 calories a day, you know, and I've been very active myself. I ran track in high school and college, but there came a point where suddenly I went from 90 pounds, you know, after my divorce to 100, almost 40 pounds within just a year's period. And it was not a healthy gain at all. So I've had to really tweak.
Like I said, I'm Greek. So we are big on, oh, you ate? Okay, here's your food, eat again. That's always been the motto. And my father owned restaurants when I was growing up. So food was always kind of around, and, you know, whether you're happy or sad or celebrating something, it's always food related. So I always had to kind of hone in and say, I'm not going to use food to abuse myself. I'm going to go to the gym. So I kind of had the opposite where I was a little
where we
chunky
eat
monkey.
to live versus living to eat.
And my father used to ask me that all the time. And I would say, Dad, you're part of the problem. You're Greek and you own restaurants and you're asking me if I just ate. I told you I ate. And all of a sudden here's a plate of lamb and Greek potatoes
You're
and a
making me
block of
hungry.
feta
That sounds
cheese.
so good.
So it sounds great, but it packs on the calories. And there you are in the gym, trying to fight that. And then, like you said, with menopause, we've had this talk so many times. The hormones are all over the place. The emotions are all over the place. So finding a balance is hard.
Yeah.
But I think once again, that brings us back to how we support one another and just, talk about it and say, what are you struggling with? How are you benefiting from what you're doing or not benefiting? So I can hopefully do the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know about your growing up and what your family dynamic was truly like. But I think just in our society in general, we weren't allowed to talk about menopause. Like I remember my grandma in the kitchen, she would follow the fan. And I just thought, well, she's hot from cooking all day long.
my gosh,
it was
that's funny.
menopause. And it was like, that was the word that we never talked about. We never mentioned menopause or what happens when you get older. And I love the dynamic of what's taking place in our culture right now, where women are allowed to talk about it. And we're finally doing studies on women's health. And there's so much more knowledge out there. And then just the support, right? We've got these women's groups where we can support each other. Like, hey, this is the problem that I'm having. And then we've got 30 women that just blast out onto the platform of like, well, this is what I take at night. And this is what's helped me. And then, now we've got doctors that are specializing in women's health instead of just hormone, which is based on men's health studies.
Well, and that's another thing I love about you. I know you help a lot of people through what you do as well. As far as you've educated me a significant amount on so many different things, from lymphatic drainage to just all sorts of things that I never would have known. I can't lie. I never would have known about them. I'm like, you do what for what? And it just makes sense. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So thank you, because
You're
you've
welcome.
done quite a bit of education with me.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people they misunderstand that if our lymphatic system isn't flowing, which actually transport hormones, then our hormones are going to get backed up somewhere along the way. And that involves our adrenals, our pituitary gland, the thyroid, all of those things rely on hormones. And if they're not moving through the system, then everything else, like to our digestion, our sleep patterns, all those things are going to eventually start to fail. So the lymphatic system is really kind of the foundation of, what I talk about. And then I always bring things back to the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a nerd about it, I guess.
I love it. Well, be all the nerd you want. You're beautiful, and you can be beautiful and nerdy at the same time. I'm all for it. So I don't have your knowledge, but I love that you give it freely to me, because I've used even from massaging my neck to my face, certain things to release stuff that you've told me about.
Yeah. And I know
doing.
that there's so much information that's out there too, I know vibration plates are a really big thing right now, and gua sha, and I think they've even got this new amazing brush just for lymphatic for your face, which is pretty spectacular. But I think in general, just the movement, and I think that's made a difference for you, again, having those healthy habits your entire life of you feel better. And there's so many other women that are so close to you that, again, I love when they are posting their workouts and how they're feeling for the day, and then also praising Jesus for that. And so I love the little faith group that we've got going on here in the city.
Yeah, for me, it always comes back to that. That's what makes me the most emotional and the most passionate thing in my life is my love for Christ. So I'll try not to cry,
because he heals us.
It's hard for me. Because a lot of people don't understand that you can have a love for Christ, and you can have tattoos, and you can be somebody that was in prison, and you can change your whole life with just one simple, thank you, God, for this beautiful day. So thank you also for having me. I just am overwhelmed with emotion a lot, because it's just who I am.
That's good, though. I love that. I think I have a hard time showing emotions for some reason. I don't know if that's the Virgo tendencies
We've had
in me.
this conversation, where I'm crying and you're looking at me going, okay.
Yeah.
She'll be done crying in about 2 seconds.
Well, at least I think it's because I've been through enough trauma training that there isn't any oh, you're okay, or do you need a tissue? Because that's almost like telling you you're not allowed to have those emotions. And so I think for me now is just I can sit here and I can hold space and allow you to process what you need to, and I can do that with my clients.
I love that.
And I feel the emotion. I feel the sensation and what's going on, but my body's just like, it's not mine. Just hold the space for somebody to allow that to come through. But then sometimes I also ask myself, gosh, have I been through enough turmoil in my own life that I've become so calloused that I can't feel emotions? Because I watched a movie last night, and I know I openly cried with my dog, and then nobody else around.
How cute. Well, that's okay. Maybe it's something you do on your own.
Maybe.
I've just always been very emotional. Although through menopause, I do have to say that some of the hormones I'm currently having to take have created this new person where I want to cry. It's a 2-second thing and then it goes away. So I kind of like that. Like now it's like, okay, it's gone.
Yeah. See, I'm considered postmenopausal at this point. And so maybe I just am more of like a man where I'm just even keel all the time now.
Oh, cute. More like a man. I love it. There are some men that are criers though. We got to,
there are some crying men out there.
There's quite a few. I'm married to one and I love it.
Oh,
he cries. It's cute.
I love emotional men. I think more men need to be able to show their emotions.
Absolutely. We need to allow men to be able to do that too.
Yes.
I think that's something that a lot of women just kind of, they do that look like, oh my God, he's emotional and it's not okay. And it absolutely is okay, ladies. Let them cry.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's, again, a societal thing, if that's the way that they were raised as boys, but being a mom to sons, I think that's something that's very close to our hearts as well. As I'm trying to raise my son to be able to speak his emotions. I love that he still snuggles with me and tells me everything. And I think that if we allow them that process at an early age, then they can carry that with them into adulthood. And I think that's what helps them become better husbands and better fathers.
Absolutely. Your son's wonderful. I've had the pleasure of meeting him and getting to sing with him and being entertained by him. And you've done such an amazing job.
He loves you. He actually wanted me to say something to you the other day. It'll come to me later, but it was the cutest thing because you came to his mind and he was like, don't forget to tell your friend Gelly this.
I love that. He's adorable.
Yeah. So, but yeah, emotions I think are important. And if we bottle them down, this goes for men and women. If we're bottling them down, then that eventually causes diseases themselves, right? That can disrupt our hormones.
I could not agree more. And I've had people say, do you feel like you don't get sick a lot because you're constantly releasing all this stuff? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. I think people that go through going, I gotta be tough. I can't cry. I can't show emotion. And all of a sudden they just let it out. They feel so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going through life, but my parents are also the same way and they're very affectionate, and being, raised in a Greek family again, it's very affectionate and everybody is loving and crying and hugging and kissing. And my dad's like, you want to cry, cry. You don't, whatever. He's like, do whatever you feel, Gelly. And I'm like, okay, Dad, that's who I am. That's what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
So I was never told, not to have an emotion.
Yeah.
It's actually the opposite.
Yeah, touch and emotion. I think that's such a beautiful thing that you mentioned that too, the hugging and the touching, because touch is also so important.
That's my love language.
Yeah, it's mine too. And it's not just the physical touch of aspects. It's like eye contact.
Absolutely.
It's the visuals around me. Like to me, that's all touch, right? The texture of food and, the flavor of wine, whatever it may be. And I think maybe COVID has dampened some of that a little bit, where there's still so much fear of like, no, don't get too close. I'm not allowed to hug you or, but I love being able to fully embrace people. And I don't think I was ever really a good hugger until I did my ibogaine journey, where I was being taught how to fully embrace somebody and then hold that hug, right? It wasn't of just this kind of casual, hey, how's it going? And then let go. It's like we're embracing each other and we're really holding the moment. We're allowing our bodies the sensation of like the entire hold of that. And now I offer that to my clients and to my loved ones. My son now, we're giving like full authentic hugs. That's the beauty of, again, your friendship is we're constantly embracing. And I see that when you bring the women together, we're all embracing each other in an authentic way. And that's so healing for so many people.
It is. It is very healing. And I think that's another thing I'm just, once again, passionate about. It's just bringing, people always go, do they have to be like-minded? And I said, no, they don't. I don't want little marching ants, of Gelly. I want everybody to come as their authentic self, as they are. And, just the same way I bring it back to faith, God, Jesus, whatever you believe in, loves you just as you are. You don't have to change anything, and definitely don't change who you are for the person standing next to you. I don't want to do that. So I don't expect people to do it for me.
It's a form of lying. And then I think over time, it's like, how do you keep track of so much lies?
Yep.
That just seems exhausting.
Exhausting, right?
I would much rather, if somebody's not into it, then, let them be on their way. And I wasn't always that way. I used to always have to bend over backwards for people, or always felt responsible for other people's emotions. And that's one thing, again, I appreciate about your friendship is like, you just tell it how it is. And either, it's for them or it's not. And you don't try and fight to keep people in your life if it's not working out well.
That's a big thing for women and men too. They have to know, you have to know when to let go. I always say, I'm not going to be for everybody, but I'm also okay with that. As a 48-year-old woman, I'm okay with that. But I think I was okay with that at 15 and 16 because I didn't have a family that taught me you have to stick around for what you're not happy with. My dad said, if you don't like it, you're not a tree. Pick yourself up and move.
Oh, I love that.
And so, and my husband says the same thing, which I find crazy because when the first time he said it to me, I thought, oh my God, I'm marrying my dad. But that's a compliment to Charles because I do love my father very much. But we're not trees. You can just uproot yourself and, go where you're better suited. So it's just important to know that and not stick, into that same pattern of doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I just love talking to you.
I love talking to you. We have to get together more.
I agree. Yeah. I love that you're doing things. When I say yes to an event and you're like, I picked this time just for you. And I'm like, because you know that I don't go out at night. Like sleep is such an important thing for me. And I think for health purposes, it's not so much just the exercise or eating healthy per se, but it's the time of day that we're eating our meals.
Absolutely.
Are we getting protein every single time? And then are we getting adequate sleep? And I think for insomnia, you and I have had the conversation about insomnia over the years, that it's so detrimental to our well-being. And if we're going multiple days in a row without consistent sleep, then going to the gym is actually then becomes detrimental and our body starts to break itself down. And so sleep is one of those things that I've never sacrificed on.
I love that. And see, that's true to who you are. You'll say, I cannot do it. And you shouldn't have to do it. If it doesn't make Janelle happy, why do it?
Yeah. I would love to have people just come stay with me though. Come hang out on my couch. We'll watch movies.
Okay.
We'll have snacks.
I'm there. I'll do it. Tell me when. We'll do another podcast on your couch. That'd be funny.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah. We can do a little movie night at Janelle's and it'll be like some woman's themed. I'm sure there's enough documentaries or movies out there.
Oh,
just
we could find, I'm sure.
Yeah. All about just women's health and the chaos that takes place, right?
Absolutely. We have a friend here.
Yeah. Poor Ozzy. He's definitely getting old. So he
cute.
comes everywhere with me. So
I love it.
So as far as like the health goes, I know that there's quite a few of us, again, like Gina, I think is one of my favorite friends of yours as well, because she's so inspiring on Facebook when she's posting like all of her spiritual journeys, but she also shares her workout routine. And so for me, with my business and my own personal attributes and dedication to God, I love some of the scripture that talks about how we're wonderfully made and how our bodies are a temple. And for me, as I eat healthier, I've backed off on like sugar, I don't drink alcohol, some of those types of things. I feel like I don't have to necessarily be in any type of meditative state. I don't have to go to church and listen to a pastor speak in order for me to actually feel God's presence or to hear his voice with me. And I'm just curious, do you have like a favorite verse that carries you on a daily basis, especially on days where you're like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym?
I don't have favorite verses because they all just kind of touch me in a different way. So I don't really have a favorite. I mean, clearly I have Romans 5:8. I loved you at your darkest because I'm huge on knowing that I have a past, I have a present, and I have a future. And he's going to love me no matter what the past, present, or future is. I'm always loved by him. So that's Romans 5:8 probably is I guess I just answered that. It probably would be my favorite because it speaks to me the most. And I'm constantly reminded when I look down. But yeah, I think I always tell people you don't have to go to church because people will say, I don't connect with it. And I said, church is wherever you're at.
Yeah.
I get on my paddleboard and go on the lake and it's there.
Well, I mean, he provided this planet for us, right?
Absolutely.
So anywhere where you're at in nature is an opportunity to sit with him. So.
Even last night when I was riding my bike, I obviously have music always playing. So I wasn't listening to Christian music at that moment, but the songs were kind of talking to me. And I was like, wow, this is incredible that once again, I'm not in church, but I'm in my own little church. It's wherever you find it.
I love where you're at because you're at that Crosscut Canal area plus the Camelback Canal. And I mean, from that direction, you can really go anywhere. You can take that Crosscut all the way down to the zoo. You can go all the way to Tempe Town Lake. You know, you can go all the way into downtown Phoenix.
To the restaurant. Are we allowed to say restaurants we went to?
I think so.
I love to go to Oso because
the one on the canal is so great.
It's the first place Charles asked me to share a kiss with him. So we go there and it just makes me all emotional and bubbly and googly. And clearly I'm very much in love.
Yeah, you should be, right? I think a lot of people, they get married and then suddenly they become totally different people or they stop trying or stop dating each other. And that's really the moment when we should start dating each other the hardest when you get married, right? The work just starts when you get married.
And I was married prior and I'm not, minimalizing that. I was in love with my, former husband and that was a beautiful relationship. And I still love and care for him in another way, just not in a way where we're together and married. So
Yeah, yeah.
I have my guy now and I'm happy, and I wish the same. And for everybody, I want everybody to find their Charles because he's wonderful.
Oh, could we clone him?
Yeah, let's do it. I think probably one day that will be, then I'm cloning this body that you have because it's gorgeous. I just hit the mic. Yeah. So
Thank you. Yeah.
you're welcome.
Yeah. I love Will's dad too. In a way, right? They'll always be close to our heart. We share
Absolutely.
children with them, which is, I think, really important. And I love that he looks a lot like his dad's side of the family. Like he's got the Hedberg nose. And so I love being able to look at him and say, you're so handsome like your dad. And
I tell Peter the same thing, and he's like, okay, Ma. And he goes, you want me to look like you? I'm like, of course I want you to look like me. You're my son, but you're a boy. So you're probably going to take on more of your dad's features. And it's okay. I'm okay with that.
yeah.
We
How
have
old
to
is
be,
your son
right?
again?
22. Yeah.
They grew up so fast.
Yep. Graduated college, getting married this year, doing all the things. And I'm very
Aw.
proud of him. He's a great kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will has a girlfriend.
Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Yeah. He's claimed her for about 3 years. And now they're considered official. I think her parents are finally on board now.
Oh, that's so cute.
And she got him a ring. So they've been walking around with little matching rings at school.
Oh, that's too cute.
Call each other babe.
Oh, that is too cute. I can't wait to see him. I'm going to have to hear
Yeah.
all the stories.
Yeah, what I like about it, and I've got another friend whose son is a freshman in college, and he's had the same girlfriend for quite a while too. And when I see them together, it reminds me of when I was younger and what like real fresh love is, right? Without the scars and the wounds of previous engagements. And it's
beautiful.
Yeah, it's so refreshing to see. And then I have such hope for humanity in general. And then it makes me feel hopeful that maybe one day I'll find something like that again for myself.
But you will,
So,
because that's also another beauty in it, is that even though it's, we do have the scars and all that other stuff because we've aged, we can bring that too. And you can share that with your partner. Because Charles and I do sit down, and that's one of the things I love about him is our communication is so strong. And we allow each other to kind of break and say, that happened to me in my, marriage. And, he'll do the same thing. And then we just kind of look at each other and we're like, but we're not there anymore. So let's just forget about it for today and move on with each other. But it's good to have that because you know what you did wrong. You know things that you can work on and work on them together in a different way. And it's just beautiful. Life is beautiful. Every day is amazing.
It is. Yeah, we're so blessed to be here.
We really are.
Yeah.
All the glory to God, like I say. I can't say that enough.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I agree. So I love that you came here today, and I can't guarantee that this is going to be a regular thing, but I think if it is, I would love for you to just keep coming back, and we can keep picking apart health and nutrition and what we're doing in life and bringing women together, and definitely bringing in our faith. I love the idea that we can bring in our faith because that's something that's still very new to me, to be able to openly talk about it and not feel shameful or feel judged for it. And I think we can help more people together if we're also sharing our true, authentic faith with that, and connecting more people in our community together.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm all for it. And I love you.
I love you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Talk to you soon.